Recording in
bokhayelitsha
progress.
nakho lethu bese uyabuya uyachubeka. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Honorable Malika will now proceed to Honorable Mrolo.
Well, thank you very much, Chairperson of NCOP. You know, I find it quite perplexing that honorably he profoundly speaks about statistics on GBV, crime statistics, quite eloquently. But then she rejects the budget of Stats SA, which enables Stats SA to collect and disseminate the same, produce and disseminate the same data. So I find it quite perplexing. Well, we've said that, Honorable Bacha, that you are committed to make sure that one of our key and chief priorities this financial year is to ensure that the tabling of the amendment bill is expedited. I'm sure this is what we said. And I'm quite shocked that that you did not hear it. We've said that an under-resourced FSA will really militate against our ability to produce qualitative data. And we share with you in your sentiment that there's a need for us to recapitalize the Stats SA. We want to really take this opportunity, Chair, to also thank the Stats SA team here, which is led by Honorable Mr. Harry Tema, acting DGG for National Statistics Systems, and the two chief directors from both the Northern Cape and the Western Cape. We are honored to have had the opportunity to have participated in this debate. This debate has once more reaffirmed our collective appreciation for the sterling work of Stats SA. It has inter alia exposed those whose criticism of the ANC or of this government is based on antipathy for the ANC and nothing else. These ill wishers amongst us have elected to completely veer off the debate. The debate is about the ability or inability of Stats SA to collect and process data for statistical purposes within the available resources. It should be about the ability or inability of Stats SA to conduct nationwide household and business survey. It should be about whether Stats SA is able to meet its target or whether it does so prudently and whether it's able to manage its finances. Earlier this morning, the Statistician General released the gross domestic product for the first quarter of 2023. South Africa's GDP increased by 0.4% in the first quarter of 2023. In total, 8 of the industries grew in the positive. Manufacturing, finance, personal services, transport, and trade. These 5 industries out of 8 contributed strongly. The manufacturing industry increased by 1.5% in the first quarter, contributing 0.2% of a percentage point to GDP growth. 4 of the 10 manufacturing divisions reported positive growth rates in the first quarter. The food and beverages division made the largest contribution to the increase in the first quarter. The petroleum, chemical products, rubber, and plastic products division also made a significant contribution to the growth in the industry. The finance, real estate, and business services industry increased by 0.6% in the first quarter, contributing 0.2% of a percentage point to GDP growth. Increased economic activities were reported for financial intermediation, insurance, and pension funding, real estate, and business services. The personal services industry increased by 0.8% in the first quarter, contribute 0.1 of a percentage point to GDP growth. Increased economic activity was reported for community services. The transport, storage, and communication industry increased by 1.1%, contributing 0.1% of a percentage point to GDP growth. Increased economic activities were reported for land transport, air transport, transport services, and communication services. The trade catering and accommodation industry increased by 0.7% in the first quarter, contributing 0.1% of a percentage point to GDP growth. Increased economic activities were reported for wholesale, trade, retail, and catering accommodation. Those of us who took an oath of office must fundamentally work towards altering the circumstances under which our people live. We will not tire in this relentless effort. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Morolong, thank you very much. We'll now move on to Honorable M. Ramokupa. Honorable Ramokupa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP. One of the things that I've learned as an individual is that indeed, if you don't understand something, you don't have to reject it. You reject something that you understand and appreciate. And that must be based on scientific evidence, not just a feeling or politics, and trying to actually make sure that you capture some imagination so that you can then now be able to politic better. Because in government, we are doing what we are doing to change people's lives. And we want to do that based on evidence. It is for this reason that today we've got frameworks that speaks to intergovernmental framework, that speaks to coordination of service delivery. We've got the DDM structure or DDM model that we are trying to build support so that service delivery to our people can be better coordinated. Therefore, it really baffles me when people seek to try and undermine the coordination power and the coordination importance in our government if we are to be able to reach what we want to reach. Having said that, I would like to just thank you, of course, for giving us this opportunity again, but to also continue to say that special transformation remains a critical priority of government. It is for this reason that DPME and Department of Agriculture, Land and Reform have been able to create a framework that will speak to national spatial development. This will then now be able to assist us to make bold and decisive contribution to provide direction for spatial development and spatial transformation in the country, which is articulated in the Freedom Charter, the Reconstruction and Development Program, and the National Development Plan. As I close, and I don't want to take so much of our time, I think it will be wrong if I do not speak about the sixth or the seventh pillar of the sixth administration priorities, which is building a better Africa and world. Today, Honorable Chairperson, we have convened an interministerial committee that is supposed to ensure that we coordinate better the Presidential Infrastructure Champion Initiative in support of the President as a champion of this particular initiative that is done at the AU level. We have been able to receive reports and coordinate in order to ensure that we receive progress on the Beitbridge border post, the Grand Inga hydropower project, Lesotho Highlands water project, and making South Africa the hub for the manufacture and supply of rail stock of Africa, for Africa in accordance with the AU resolutions. It is pleasing to note the reports that we received and the projects that are progressing in implementing these stages. We will continue to ensure that we monitor and evaluate and ensure that all the memorandum of understanding that our country has signed with different countries, most especially in Africa, becomes a reality. We will support all infrastructure projects that are seeking to ensure that integration of Africa becomes a reality. Having said that, Chairperson, let me take this opportunity to thank everybody that has supported ourselves as DPME, and we will continue to avail ourselves in ensuring that coordination of service delivery and making sure that we create frameworks at which all departments and all the stakeholders that work with government should then now be able to work under, because without a framework, we will not be able to reach the milestones that we want to reach. We will continue to also ensure that we streamline planning in all departments, and also ensuring that the machinery that deals with planning of service delivery, planning of ensuring that we implement each and everything that speaks to policy of our country becomes a reality. So thank you very much for the support, and thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to come and share with your good selves in terms of what we are doing. And I definitely know that with your support, we will be able to ensure that planning for development for our people in terms of service delivery and policy of our nation would then now be able to speak to the national interest that our country needs, and our country needs to ensure that we protect at all times. Thank you very much, Chairperson of the NCOP.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Ramokgopa. Thank you very much, and we'll conclude this debate by having Honorable NC Dlamini Zuma, Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, concluding the debate for us. Honorable Nkosazana.
Let me thank all the members who participated in this debate.
We will conclude by asking the minister to conclude the debate for us. Minister Honorable NC Dlamini Zuma.
Can you hear me, Honorable Chair?
Okay. The minister is there, she's coming through.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Speak a little bit louder, but closer to the mic.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Is that better?
That's better, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, and thanks to the members who participated in this debate. But let me also thank more especially the ones who supported our budget. The IFP, the ANC, and I didn't hear anybody else supporting the budget. Let me say I find it very strange when people say they care about women, youth, and persons with disability, and they want things done, but they don't support the budget. I just find it a contradiction in terms. Because if you don't support the budget, how do you think all the things that you say must be done should be done? But having said that, let me say that the youth unemployment, it's true that there is youth unemployment, but as I was saying, that part of the problem is that the youth that do not have skills is unemployable. That's why sometimes we import skills from outside, even when we have unemployment, because there are no skills. And I would have thought that people would have welcomed the fact that we would like to work with the Defense Force to skill our people, because there's no skill that doesn't exist within the Defense Force, so that they can be skilled and can get jobs or create jobs. And so, but the DA cannot be loud about these things, because when they had the opportunity during apartheid, they had free and compulsory education for white kids only. So they are the last ones to talk, please. The legacy that we're dealing with is what they left. And it was their discrimination and oppression that we're dealing with now. So I think the DA must not talk too much.
Yes.
And I also want to say the problem is our budget. We actually don't have a budget to do things that you are expecting us to do. I had a litany of things that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be an advocacy department, and our budget is the smallest. And I would have thought that those who support women, youth, and persons with disability would have been advocating that we should get a better allocation. But instead of advocating for a better allocation, they are saying they don't support the budget. So I think that I will not respond too much to what they are saying. The other DA person said, bayasingena kuphi? Ngeke nisingene. Akho DA ezowina la. Sanukuzikhohlisa. Ayikho iDA ezowina. Angeke nisingene. Khohlwa, ngiyabonga.
Okay. Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable members, that concludes the debate and the business of the day. And as in keeping with our own practice, I would like to thank the ministers, the deputy ministers, permanent delegates, MECs, and all special delegates for availing themselves for the sitting today. Your presence, your participation is much more appreciated. The House is now adjourned.
Recording stopped.